Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. I'm back here at Lexus of Clearwater, and guess what? I have that one extreme performance car from that iconic Japanese brand. What am I talking about? This vehicle right here. This is one of just 50, yes, 50 2020 Lexus RCF track editions. But before we get into this carbon fiber equipped screaming V8 underneath the hood performance car, let's talk about what's going on here. So you look at a lot of brands, Porsche, Chevrolet with the Corvette or the Camaro, Ford with the Mustang. They have their performance cars, but then they always turn it up a notch, just like Porsche does with the 911 and the GT3, or Chevrolet does with the Corvette C8 ZR1, or Ford with the Mustang Dark Horse. Now, this RCF Track Edition is that same type of experience and performance level. So what you're finding is one of just 50 where they lighten the vehicle, they added tons of carbon fiber bodywork and aero, and they also give you a very engaging drive experience. Now, what's fascinating is back in 2020, you could only get two different color choices. Matte Nebula Gray, which is the color that I would choose, or Ultimate White. But one thing is for certain, no matter which color you chose, you're getting one heck of an extreme version of a Lexus. So what I want to find out is this one of those performance cars that is going to go up in value down the road and that you should jump on one now? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this one and see if we can find out. Right off the bat, like I said, the Matte Nebula Gray, it's actually got metal flake in it, but it is a matte finish and it looks spectacular. At the front of the business, you see that familiar RCF headlight design. You got your vertical stack triple LED beam headlights. You got your little swarm of Killer Bee LED turn signals. And then, of course, that signature shape LED daytime running lamp. Matte Nebula Gray, that's the color. Down below, massive corner air intakes, metallic black finish for the heat exchangers. And then you'll notice the extra aero full carbon fiber freaking splitter on this thing. So we're talking about Lexus not up in the ante just on driving performance, but also the materials being used. Now, as we come across that spindle grille design, love the way it waterfalls down, full metallic gray. You got your dark chrome finish around the perimeter. Everything is functional. And then you have extra large. It's like you could take a Florida orange and throw it in there for brake cooling. That splitter, full carbon fiber. This looks just like the front of one of the GTD race cars from the IMSA WeatherTech series that Lexus runs, their RCF GTD Pro and GTD race cars. That's how authentic and spot on the money this thing is. But let me know what you think about the look of it, especially with that functional carbon fiber splitter. Now, as we rise up, let's cut some hood. Get rid of the aluminum hood, full carbon fiber. You got your metallic black heat extractor, gonna drag all that hot air out. The carbon fiber is spectacular. And I know you're probably saying, well, Joe, I'll just go get an RCF and I'll buy a carbon fiber hood from an aftermarket company. Not always does carbon fiber, when you buy it aftermarket, does it fit correctly. Because this is how it came from the factory, of course, the body lines and all the gaps are like the Egyptians built this freaking thing. That's how perfect the build quality is on a Lexus. And that's something you're not gonna get on a C8 Corvette or a Camaro or a Mustang. On a Porsche 911 GT3 for sure, but Lexus does some really good build quality. Now, as we come around the bend, I hope you like BBS wheels, because guess what? Multi-spoke, the flat black with the machined aluminum outer edge BBS forged aluminum wheels, standard 15.7 inches. That's like a freaking pizza size carbon ceramic brake rotors. If you go to Porsche and you want a 911 GT3. A 911 GT3 comes standard with steel rotors. If you want carbon ceramics, that's like an additional $12,000. This comes exactly the way you see it, standard. Love the bright red 6-piston Brembo calipers. It's got the F badge and it's got the carbon ceramic logo there, so people who are not in the know can be educated. Now, if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of this wheel? 19-inch wheel. It's wrapped in those sticky Pilot Sport 4S tires, but you can still drive them on the street very well. And if you're wondering, well, what's the size? You're looking at 255 on the width and a 35 series sidewall. Adaptive suspension. All four corners has been specially tuned for high performance track driving, twisty bit driving, and to give you communications with that steering wheel like you never felt before. But let me know what you think about the wheel choice with the particular color. I think it's the chef's kiss. Coming down the side, you gotta have the F badge, and this is a real F car. This isn't an F Sport. This isn't some just like watered down version. Lori's gonna swing it around and show you the functional fender vents on those flared fenders. You do have some metallic gloss black. That's not what I'm gonna zonk on the mirror cap. What I'm gonna zonk is, why is there chrome here? Get this off. I almost wanna like get my nail in there and just rip it out. You do have your LED turn signals. No sunroof, carbon fiber roof. So full carbon fiber roof, that's gonna shed 8 pounds of weight. We're lowering our center of gravity. Matte nebula gray on the door handles, all the way down. Look at the way they even carved this out like a freaking jack-o'-lantern. This is all aero work that came from the race car. And now it's in the street car. This is just one of 50. 50. You know, you go to a show, hey, this is one of 3,000. This is one of 500. This is one of 50, guys. Mind-blowing. Coming towards the rear, I do like the dark chrome that they put around the window frame. Got a nice size quarter window. And then out back, what do we got going on? Still 19-inch wheel, but now we're wider. 285 on the width, 35 series sidewall. There's those carbon ceramic brake rotors. Look at that. I know some cars that don't even have wheels that big. And you have your Brembo caliper with the F badge. Golly, man. Wow. They retuned the limited slip diff to get traction to the ground more effectively. And this is rear wheel drive. This is not all wheel drive. Coming towards the back, we got a fixed pedestal carbon fiber rear wing, fully functional. My only zonk is I wish it was adjustable. I wish you'd be able to adjust it, because not every track do you need the same amount of downforce. And I don't want this to just create drag, because that's gonna hurt your top speed. But man, oh man, does it look freaking good. LED lighting, there's no freaking old-fashioned light bulbs on this. Come on, don't be silly. RCF badging, doesn't say track edition, it doesn't need to. Just by looking at it. And then working our way down, full carbon fiber mid diffuser, and that's a titanium exhaust. Even a Porsche 911 GT3 does not come with a titanium exhaust. And what's great is it's that signature stacked exhaust, staggered. That's what basically all the F, like you look at an RCF, when they used to have the GSF, the ISF, that's how the exhaust would come, is in that appearance. But these are titanium. But man, oh man, let's go pop that hood before I get too excited looking at this track edition. All right, guys, we got the hood popped, full carbon fiber hood. Underneath, you'll notice how they stiffen up the front end with the bracing that attaches to the firewall. Look at the blue. That's the color of the F branding. Those are your 8 individual intake runners in that upper intake underneath the plastic cover. I'm okay with the cover. I love the way it kind of just focuses your eyes on that blue. What do we got going on there? That is that 5-liter V8 pumping out 472 horsepower, 395 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in about 3.8 seconds. It is bolted. Boo-hoo-hoo to an 8-speed automatic. If they would have had one of these in a manual, I would have bought it, hands down. MPGs, if you really care, 16 in the city, 24 in the highway. With all the aero, top speed is 168 miles an hour, and the car weighs right around 3,800 pounds. So you're not getting a super heavy example, you're getting one that's lighter. But I have some ideas that they could have done to make this even lighter. We'll talk about that when we get inside. But why don't we go ahead, we got the RCF, let's fire it up and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this 2020 RCF Track Edition. Lexus just made one of 50. This is one of 50 that were built for 2020. Now, I know you're probably saying to yourself, well, Joe, I can't believe you tracked one of these down. I remember when you filmed one during the pandemic, but I haven't seen you touch one of these since then. How much is this particular one? I may want to buy it. Very good question and good memory. Asking price for this one is right at $76,000. Let's see if the depreciation curve is over and it's now time to jump on one of these. Are you ready? To the door panels. Love the two-tone. Now, yes, I know the styling is dated, but give it a break. The car is 5 years old. You have that bright red Alcantara, the red leather. There's ambient lighting within that titanium silver trim. And we have real deal red carbon fiber around the switchgear. Door pocket's gonna be tight, so maybe just 2 Costco hot dogs and that's it. Going from the door panel to the dash, more red carbon fiber. Love the way it's got the red carpet in here. Really nice touch. And then you have the older style infotainment system. It's a 10.25 inch. You could touch it, but it doesn't do anything. You got to use the Lexus trackpad, and that's a major zonk. But this is a 2020, not a brand new one. Rode in reverse, backup camera. It's small, but it works. You got trajectory. I just wish it was better resolution. And then you're right back where you started. Love that classic analog Lexus clock. Your start-stop button. Dual climate control. You could slide or you could tap. Give it a tappity tap, or you can slide it in and out, whatever you prefer. Real physical buttons on all the AC controls. Volume knob. Well, this is your volume knob. Tuning knob. You could get your CDs out. Pearl Jam, Whitesnake, Black Sabbath. You got the Mark Levinson premium sound system. And don't forget, you got your place where you could put your Tootsie Rolls down here. Now, to work the menu on the screen, I got to use the trackpad, and this is probably one of the most cumbersome things I've ever used in my life. Don't use it while you're driving. You're going to regret it. But while you're sitting, it works just fine. You have your different drive modes. I'll show you that when you come to the business side. This is going to control your 8-speed automatic. Love the perforated leather, the red stitching, even on the shift boot. 2 cup holders. There's the trackpad. Get away from me. I need to wear some garlic or get some holy water. Love the way we got the F badged leather condom pouch for your key fob to protect it. Alcantara. Open it up. You got a 12 volt. You have 2 USB-As, an aux jack, and enough room to where you could easily put, I would say, 3 Game Boys and about 15 games in there. That's another thing that just classic, the Game Boy. I miss the Game Boy. Black and white. I don't want a color one. I want black and white. Seats, look at it. It's like right out of a race car. The F badge, the Alcantara, the leather, the bolstering, unique to this vehicle. You have your electric assist for the passenger, electric assist for the driver. My other zonk for this car, besides it not having more horsepower and having this stupid track pack, why, oh why, Lexus? Let me see if I can do this here. Do we have the rear seat? I get it, but I don't. Track Edition needs to have rear seat delete. That would save about 250 pounds. Just get it out of there. Just get it out. No. If you want rear seats, go get an RCF. If you want 10 seats, go get yourself a freaking SUV. No rear seats in this. This needs to be a manual. That's the other zonk. So you can't get a manual. And no rear seats. I'll tell you what. I would make a deal with Lexus right now. I would forego asking for any extra horsepower. I'm fine with the 472 horsepower. Give me a freaking manual and get rid of that rear seat. Pronto. This thing would be sold. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the special wheel in this special Lexus. Hi guys, business time behind the wheel of this special Lexus. You do get the Lexus sill plate, nice aluminum, illuminates at night. Pedal box right out of a Lexus race car. There's my aluminum dead pedal, brake pedal, and throttle. Seat controls, easy to get to. And these seats are superb. They hold you like a mother holds her newborn baby. So supportive, but it's got all the grip that you want, and it's not gonna squeeze you. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of headroom, steering wheel, look at it. The perforated leather, the Babe Ruth red baseball stitching, even a little bit of red leather on the bottom with the F logo. Flat black on the switchgear. You do have paddles for the 8-speed automatic, but they are plastic. I am gonna zonk that. They should be metal. It is a manual tilting and telescoping wheel, and then you got that great looking digital gauge cluster. Now, I'm in normal right now. There is Eco. I'm very curious who in their right mind is gonna drive an Eco in this vehicle. Sport, and then Sport Plus. And I love the way that tack lights up really, really nicely. Even the bit of red that they put in the leather above the hood here, just a nice touch. There is a trunk. I don't care about it. I really don't. What I would do is I would rip the rear seat out and put it back there so that I could drive to a dumpster and throw the rear seat out. That's what I would use the trunk for. So do you know what that means? Since we're not doing the trunk? If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle in this RCF. All right, guys, we are leaving Lexus of Clearwater. We're inside this 2020 one of 50 RCF track editions. I do have it in Sport Plus mode, and we are gonna go on throttle from a dead stop. Are you ready? On throttle, here we go. Nice. Love the way that naturally aspirated V8 develops its power, and with the retuned limited slip diff, it gets the power to the ground so effectively. Now what's nice is that you're wrapped in this perfect environment to get down to business when you're going through the twisty bits. Like I said, I wish that they did a little bit more in making this extra track focused, especially getting rid of the rear seat. But the instrumentation is really easy to read. Yes, you have that older tech on the infotainment system screen, but you know what? When you're at your favorite track day or you're going down your favorite twisty bits, the infotainment system isn't gonna mean diddly squat to you. What's gonna be important is the communication coming through the wheel, the sound of that titanium exhaust, and of course the V8. I mean, it's such a pleasurable power plant. All the finishes, really, really nice, especially everything that's red in here is absolutely spectacular. And it's one of those cars that you roll into any car show or cars and coffee event, you just don't see these. And people think that you took an RCF and you modified it yourself, whereas in reality, this is how it comes from the track edition comes like this from the factory. I'm gonna take the shift lever, I'm gonna pull it over to the driver's side so I can manually shift with the paddles. And if you're ready, I'm ready. Second gear. On throttle, here we go. Love the large gear indicator. You also get a audio sound to when you're getting close to that red line. It does red line at right around 7,200 RPM. They did take sound deadening material out, so you are gonna hear more of the V8, but you're also gonna hear more road noise and whatnot. but it's nothing too obnoxious. It just helps with the overall specialness of this vehicle. Paddles are placed nicely. I just wish they were metal. I think that would just help with the extra touch, especially because this isn't your run-of-the-mill Lexus RCF. But the gear indicator is nice and large, and you're able to see it very clearly through the opening in the wheel. Would be nice to have the head-up display, but there is no head-up display in the track edition. It's just weird things that they took away and things that they added. So they took away the head-up display, took away like power tilt and telescoping steering wheel, but you got full power seats and you have a rear seat. So it doesn't make sense 100%, but what does make sense is the on throttle. You ready? On throttle, here we go. Look at this, holds so nicely. You could feel how the suspension has been specially tuned for this particular application. Feels much different than your regular RCF, if you could even call an RCF regular. I mean, let's be real here. Nice smooth downshifts though. Good feedback through the wheel. Really grips super well, super well. And what I like about the downshifts is that it keeps the chassis stable, so you could be solid, rock solid on those carbon ceramic brakes, and the chassis is gonna follow you through nicely with everything staying stable under braking. Wait a couple seconds here, then we're gonna go on throttle again. But these seats are fantastic. Visibility is great. You ready? On throttle, here we go. On the brakes. Nice smooth downshifts. God! I mean, she sounds like, if you watch an in-car camera shot of the RCF race car that races in the IMSA WeatherTech series, she sounds like you're sitting in that. That's what the sound of that titanium exhaust is like. Absolutely superb. And it's a sound that's obviously going away. But man, standard carbon ceramic brake rotors. That's pretty freaking fantastic. Because like I said, you get a Z06, you get a GT3, you're paying extra for it. And then at the end of the day, it's still a comfortable car to drive. It looks fantastic with the carbon fiber aero, especially looking out of the windshield. You see the carbon fiber hood. Yes, the rear wing does block your vision a little bit, but listen, it's a compromise. You can't have a wing and still be able to see everything clearly unless it's active aero. That's the only way to do it. On the brakes, look at this. Really nicely done. Just, it's so smooth. It's such a smooth engine with the torque delivery, and just everything else is just, it's well sorted. It's like it was built for you. You called up Lexus and you're like, can you make me something that will give me better feedback on my favorite twisty road, or make me feel more confident on my local racetrack when I'm doing my drag day? And they made this bespoke for you. That's what it feels like in this car. But I hope that this has been a good, quick overall review of the RCF Track Edition. We're gonna get back to Lexus of Clearwater and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys. Another mind-blowing day here at Lexus of Clearwater. Definitely gotta thank Tyler, Anthony, Preston, getting us access to this pristine RCF Track Edition. Let me know what you think. for the money. Is this gonna be that car that goes up in value down the road very quickly? Let me know your thoughts in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Gotta give it up to Latte Lori. She loves this Lexus, but she feels the same way. It's gotta have a manual transmission. So we're not adding it to the Raiti's Rides garage, unfortunately. But thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.